Hey friends, I built this modern industrial inspired, plant filled, almost floating sort of house with a workshop. Let's check it out. So, originally, I wanted to build this house because the Blooming Rooms kit was on sale, and I doubt it's on sale right now. But yeah, this was supposed to come out a little while ago. And I thought it'd be cool to do something kind of industrial to contrast the plants. I thought that would be kind of a cool look. And yeah, it took me a little while to figure out what I wanted to do. At first, I was going to do a sort of almost like a loft, like have the bedroom kind of up above, with like a bathroom and maybe like an office or something below. But I don't know. I couldn't really get the outside to look right. It was just kind of, I don't know. I just didn't really love it. So I kind of went back and like looked at some different inspiration pics to figure out what I wanted to do. And I saw this picture of a house that I think was actually built into the side of a hill, but it kind of looked like it was almost like floating out of the side of the hill and maybe like cantilevered or something. And I thought it'd be kind of interesting to do something like that. So, obviously it's not built into the side of a hill because you can't really do that in The Sims 4. But yeah, I basically just built it up on like the second level with a workshop below and then put in basically like a giant column where the fireplace will be. And I thought that was kind of an interesting way to create this almost like floating sort of look to the house. And I probably went in more of a modern direction than industrial, but there are definitely some industrial influences throughout. But yeah, ended up using a lot of these like larger windows, these square ones as well. And then, yeah, kind of working on the floor plan here. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do at first. I thought I was going to do the bedroom at the front, but it wasn't really working that way with like trying to figure out where to put the bathroom and stuff. So the bedroom is at the back, which probably makes more sense anyway, since the front will be the living room and it has all those great windows, a ton of light in there. So yeah, I think that ended up working better anyway. I do really like how the floor plan ended up uh, at the end. Yeah, ended up at the end. Wow, amazing. So yeah, I got this like smaller space at the bottom, and I ended up turning that into a workshop. So there will be like a flower arranging table and a juice fizzing machine, and then I put this like really small bathroom in here. And the kind of layout of this workshop will change a bit later. I can't remember if I keep any of that in the actual build, but you'll see it in the tour at the very end. I do kind of rearrange some things and add some different stuff in there, but yeah, and for the exterior, I wanted to do, a very modern take, so I ended up doing kind of black stone at the bottom and this wood siding around, which really gave it the look that I was going for. And I ended up building this in Evergreen Harbor. I think it fit in pretty well. I mean, it's, it doesn't really fit into the neighborhood necessarily. Like the other houses don't look anything like this, but maybe it's someone who came into some money. They bought this property, bulldozed it, and built this brand new, really modern house. I don't know. We'll go with that. And I ended up using a lot of eco lifestyle items for this house. They just worked out really well. It was very fitting since it's in Evergreen Harbor. And yeah, honestly, I don't know, that might be one of my favorite expansion packs, which I never thought it would be. I don't know, it's kind of a random expansion pack. But I don't know, maybe because it's so unique. Like, I don't think they've really done anything like that in previous games. So yeah, and I think like the build buy is really great in it. It's got a ton of different gameplay features. Though I know everyone ends up turning off the like neighborhood action plans because they get kind of annoying. But yeah, I think the build buy worked out really well in here, and used a lot of solar panels on the roof, and yeah, I think it turned out nice. I ended up cutting it out, but I spent so much time messing around with the windows, and I'm spending a lot of time right now on the chimney. But the chimney was much quicker compared to the windows because I was trying to get them like all the way up to the like edge of the ceiling, and I don't know, it was just not working super well. And I liked putting the square ones above the really tall ones at the front. But the frames are just too thick. I really wish there was like a matching square window that went with those taller ones. I think that would work really nicely, give a a little bit more flexibility. But yeah, here in the kitchen, this is probably the most industrial part of the build, just with the kind of base game counters that, you know, have a very industrial look to them. And yeah, I was really struggling with the layout here for a minute. I'm not really sure why. It's like I forgot that the fridge could just go over to the side there. But yeah, I think that worked out better anyway. Moving it and then, yeah, putting the stove in the actual counters there. And I'm still not a huge fan of the upper cabinets that are supposed to match these counters. I do end up using them in here, but I just use the like glass fronted ones. I think those ones look much nicer than the kind of standard cabinet from that set. I don't know. They look weird to me. Like they remind me of like a pirate ship, and I don't know. It's just like not something you would have in like a real house. But yeah, I think the glass ones look nice though, and I colored them black so they kind of blend into the stone wall. I think using the stone there was a really nice feature. Kind of ties in with the sort of chimney thing. And I cut ahead and I pulled out a whole bunch of different clutter items and plants and stuff because I really wanted to fill this place with plants, since this was originally supposed to be kind of an homage to the Blooming Room kits being on sale. But yeah, so I did this like shelf up here with the plants, which I like the look of, but unfortunately, if you put the walls down, the plants won't actually disappear since they're not snapped to the shelf. So the shelf will disappear, but then there's just a bunch of plants floating there, which, you know, I didn't think was a super great look, especially if you're actually trying to play in this house. It was very annoying. So I don't think I left it in, but I'll end up switching out the shelves for the sort of cube shelves that came with Dream Home Decorator, since the plants will snap to that. And then when you put the walls down, they actually disappear, which is nice. And then I had this weird issue where those like wall decorations that I put up, both like the big square ones and those kind of smaller, skinnier ones, they just, I don't know, they like blocked the sim. Like the sim couldn't walk between the wall and that like peninsula cabinet, which was really annoying. So I ended up having to get rid of those and replace it with something else. But yeah, I don't know. I really wish they would code those wall decorations like they do paintings, so it doesn't actually affect the sim walking by them. So yeah, super weird, but yeah, I ended up having to switch those out. And now I'm just kind of pulling out things for the kind of living area and then the hallway. And what I did was I basically went through and semi-furnished things, and then I basically just put it all into the inventory, which worked out really nicely. So I had an actual sim on the lot right now. So, you know, if you hit backspace, if you're playing on like a computer, it'll just put it into the household inventory rather than deleting it and selling it. So yeah, there's just like everything in the inventory, which worked out really nicely to kind of pull things out and rearrange stuff. So a little tip for you if you are in need of something like that. And I also slowed this part down so it'd be a little bit easier to kind of see what I'm doing and moving things around. And yeah, also a fairly industrial inspired living room with the kind of main furniture. So I think that, you know, kind of pulled the theme together a little bit. And yeah, used that plant shelf thing. I thought that worked out nicely there. I do move the light that's on the wall. It's kind of buried behind there right now. I do figure that out later and move it. So no worries. It's not there anymore. And yeah, tons of plants. I probably used at least half of the plants in the catalog. I think I tried to use some of them, or I may have accidentally used some of them twice just because there's some really nice ones. But yeah, and this little landing area was perfect for like a little home office. So put that there. I thought that worked out nicely to fill up that space. And the bathroom is a pretty good size. You know, got the full shower tub combo, sink, toilet, all of that. And you may have noticed I forgot to remove some of the things in there when I was unfurnishing. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, and then I use these blinds. I sized them down twice, which worked out really well for that window, and then just kind of doubled it up. I really wish we had more blinds like that in different sizes and whatnot. I think that would be very helpful. And I also pushed that shelf into the corner to make it look like it was built in, which I think worked nicely. And yeah, I did playtest this quite a bit. This was like, I was having a lot of fun playing with this lot. So yeah, everything seemed to work okay. I don't think I ran into any issues. I definitely had her use the toilet. So yep, that should work. I was a little worried with the shelf being there that it would block the sim, but yep, seemed to work perfectly fine. And then of course used more furniture from the industrial loft kit here in the bedroom, which I don't know. I really like that kit. I probably could have used a little bit more, a few more items, but you know, I think we all kind of feel that way about kits. Yeah, I just have mixed feelings about them. I think they're kind of nice. You know, they give people a more accessible way to get more content without having to, you know, shell out $40 for an expansion or something. But I wish they either had, you know, a few more items or they were just like a little bit cheaper. Like if they were $3 or $4 instead of $5, I think it would be, you know, a bit more reasonable. But yeah, some of them I think have been really great and some of them not so great. But I've been a fan of pretty much all of the build kits. I think I still need to buy the castle one. I don't think I have that one. And now they've announced the 2 new ones coming out. This will be tomorrow, or I guess probably today. They'll be coming out today when I release this video. But yeah, so now I am down in the workshop, just trying to figure out how I want to arrange things. I used some of this duct work. I thought that was kind of fun since I didn't use it anywhere else. It didn't seem to really fit into the main living area, so I thought it would make sense down here. You know, just some extra ventilation maybe for whatever they're working on. And I realized it later that the ductwork is actually too far into the wall, like it's actually cutting into it. So I did move it back, so no worries there if your eye's twitching because of that. I did fix that. And yeah, I got the juice fizzing machine in there. And I was trying to get a sink into this bathroom, but I couldn't fit one in there. So it's just the powder room, or just the water closet, I guess is the technical term for just a toilet in a room, I believe. So yeah, but I did end up putting a sink under the stairs later. I don't think I included that in the speed build part, because I tested this workshop quite a bit to kind of figure out what would work well and all of that. So I originally put this shelf in here, which I do really like, but it ended up being a lot less useful than I thought it would be. Like there's just not a lot of snap points on it. So yeah, I ended up switching those out for shelves, I believe from the greenhouse kit. Those shelves are great. I love those. And the shelves will mainly be used for the flower arranging table, like to put your prepared bouquets on there, which I thought looked really nice. So yeah, I thought that worked out really well. I also put a mini fridge under the stairs for the juice fizzing. That way you can just kind of drag them over without having to like go upstairs to put them in the fridge so they last longer. So I thought that worked out much nicer. And then for this kind of small side yard, I decided to do a hot tub and like a little grilling area. I'll put a table in here in a second. And then I put this little planting garden area in because I imagine whoever lives here would want to grow their own fresh flowers that they can turn into bouquets and whatnot. They can grow fruits for the juice fizzing, which worked out really well. I did a little bit of that. So I think if you download this house off the gallery, there will already be some plants in there. If you want to keep those, there's like strawberries and grapes and blueberries, blackberries, things like that. So a little head start for you if you're interested in using this to actually, you know, make different things. And I used a debug car to put in like the little fake driveway. I thought that was kind of fun. I will say, because I did put a selling table in the workshop as well, the Sims won't come in if you have just a regular door. So if you turn it into an archway, they will come in, but then they will also just go into your house and like use all your stuff. So if you don't want them to do that, you can just drag the selling table out. And I would, you know, just move the car. I kind of like shuffled it off to the side by the mailbox, which worked out well. And then put the selling table in the very front. And that seemed to work out fine. You know, the Sims weren't coming into the house and using all of the stuff and all of that. So yeah, a little bit better there. And now I'm just finishing up with the lighting for the lot, and then just some kind of final details, then we'll jump into the tour and we'll check it out, especially the different changes that I made. Yeah, I was trying to put a light with the fan. I thought that would be kind of nice, but I couldn't find one that looked that great. So yeah, ended up just using those wall lights, and I think, yeah, just like a spotlight that seemed to work. And I did move that light that was behind the shelf with all the plants, so no worries, that has been changed. And yeah, these curtains were a little bit weird. They're technically lower than the top of the window, but in like when you're playing, you probably won't notice that. I certainly couldn't tell when I was taking, or when I was like looking through in first person, like they wouldn't notice. And it was just because like the windows go all the way to the ceiling, so yeah, that's kind of the way that had to be. But yeah, here you can see the sim that I threw into this lot. She was having a grand old time, just living it up in here, making a bunch of stuff. Yeah, and you can see in the kitchen, I swapped out those shelves and then the wall art on the left there. That ended up working a lot better. So yeah, I really wish they would swap out the, or change how the wall decorations work, because that was really annoying. Yeah, and here I have the selling table out in the front. That worked out really well. The Sims were all coming over and looking at her stuff. But yeah, that is going to wrap it up for me. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please leave a like. That helps a lot. And subscribe if you'd like to see more. And check out one of the videos on the screen right now. Thank you so much. Have a great day.